Hi, welcome to Power Fridays Live, where we empower entrepreneurs to transform their lives, businesses, and legacies. I'm Janelle Pulley, your host, and today's episode is a special edition for me to interview comedian B-Phlat, the business of comedy. Good evening, B-Phlat. How are you doing tonight?
Good evening, Janelle. I'm well. I can't complain. I'm here in Atlanta in my bestie's guest house, freezing, trying to warm up. But other than that, I can't complain. I'm working, so I'm blessed. Yes.
Yes, yes. I don't think that groundhog saw its shadow earlier this month.
I don't know what they said. All I know is it's cold. It no
It's
matter
cold.
when he come out, it's still gonna be cold.
It,
It's just a matter how long it's gonna be cold. I don't be caring about that. All I know is it's cold.
exactly.
Cold here in Atlanta. I wasn't expecting this. I was like, yo, I could pop out with my jacket on. I was like, Lord, if I don't get my coat and scarf and my gloves. Yeah, so I came prepared for this weather.
Very good. Very good. Well, I know preparation and pivoting is your life, and I'm just super excited, that we had this time together this evening. And can you tell me or the audience a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, and how you got started in the business of comedy?
Well, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, and actually in two parts. St. Clair, Missouri, which is country, maybe like 65 miles southeast of St. Louis. Then
Oh,
moved into, my mom married a country black man. We grew up out there. Believe me, me and my brother, we were like the only black kids at our school for a long time. So that was traumatizing initially, but then it was like, we was the bomb. Me and my brother was like Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. To the white people, they say, oh, they can do everything. But because they think black people can do hair, we can dance, we can sing, we do everything. We play ball. And then I moved to St. Louis where I got a reality check because I used to wear the Harley Davidson jacket. That's how white I used to be. I had the big eagle on the back. Oh, they used to talk about when you got
yeah.
to middle school in St. Louis. They'd be like, look at that black girl with that eat. Why she got that Harley? They used to call me Bird Woman. When I would walk down the hallway, they used to be like, be making bird noises.
Oh my gosh.
But you know what? Bullying may build character for me. I
Mm,
mean, it's just a different day and age
right.
because it just made me step up. I was like, oh, I guess I better stop wearing this Harley Davidson jacket to school. It
Exactly.
wasn't, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna fight everybody that's talking about my jacket and oh, I don't want to go to school because I was like, oh, I think I better leave this jacket at home.
Right, right.
So, and then from there, I had a crazy life living. I had three families: my dad's family, my surrogate family, and my mom's family. And it's crazy because my surrogate family raised me. I found them from an ad in the newspaper to go babysit. And they ended up
Ah.
raising me. And it's like I'm their adopted daughter. It's crazy. It's a crazy story.
Oh, that's
And
interesting life.
it's an interesting life because it's that family that got me to college and helped me get off to
Mhm.
Philadelphia. And they're
Oh,
not blood related to me or nothing. They're
that's
the ones
wonderful.
that made sure I did whatever I needed to do in the right direction. So I ended up leaving St. Louis, going to grad school at Drexel. And then I just always knew I was going to be an entrepreneur and on the front of something or be the head of something. Even when I
Oh,
was a kid, I was like, I never want to work for anybody all my life. I just wanted to gain experience. So the strange thing is, I never really had a lot of jobs. And when I did, they were always just like a little bit of time. And I haven't had a job in like corporate America since 96.
wow.
I
That's
refused.
wonderful.
I moved to Philadelphia in 91 and I worked on campus at Drexel. Then I was a boss at an art gallery. And then I worked at Meseroff Gilman, Jaffe Kramer, and Jameson, which is a law firm where they filmed the movie Philadelphia.
Ah.
I worked there while they were filming. And girl, when they was done, and like 2 years after that, I quit. I was like, I can be my own boss. And I've been
Hmm.
my own boss since then. But I became my own boss by utilizing everything that I know how to do. I'm that person that used to have that card that be like, I do yards, I do resumes, I roll weed, I do all that, I make weed business. I was that person that did.
Yeah.
I ran a I used to call it Blue Ride Graphics. I named it after my little Renault Alliance car that got me from Philadelphia, from St. Louis to Philadelphia. We used to call it the Blue Ride.
Mm-hmm.
So I named my graphic company after that. And what I used to do was, when I quit my job, because I have a graphic art background, I used to design ads for Source magazine. I used to also write for ESPN magazine, little funny columns. So I just got in the business of designing ads. And I actually designed the Roots first CD cover. It was called Organics, when they were like really big. And yeah, because my business partner who worked with me, she was still working, but she would come over and help me. She was actually dating their manager at the time. And like, they need a CD cover. And I still
Network.
have, yeah, it was in I remember when it got released, and it was in Source magazine, because I have all this stuff in my scrapbook. But that's what I used to do. And then me and Movita, rest in peace, he used to we used to throw trips to the jazz festival up in Rhode Island. We would just get a busload of people together, rent a bus, and we would make money. I was always about doing something. I was always a hustler, but I was never like, oh, I'm gonna sell drugs or do something crazy. I always knew I was gonna do something legal, but I was gonna do it my way. So for years, I designed right in my extra bedroom in my in my house in Philadelphia. Before I really jumped into the comedy business, for about 4 years, I was designing comedy packets, doing because I also went to law school. I was designing packets, putting together comedians' contracts, all that stuff for everybody from Samoa. This was like way back in the day, Michael Blackson. I used to do all their contracts. They would pay me, and I would have them come to my dining room. I would shoot their headshots. I would set up my lights, because I was into all that artsy stuff. And they would get a whole packet from me. You have to pay like $100. And you would get like 10 VH tapes, copies of your set, 10 resumes, 10 year bios, all that. People's like, B-Phlat will do it, B-Phlat will do it.
Oh, wonderful. So you were like that person. You were a photographer. You were a writer.
The writer.
You were paralegal.
Paralegal, you named it. I did it all.
Yes. And I love the fact that you shared that you use your God-given talents.
Yes.
These are all the treasures that God has given you. And that's what entrepreneurship is about. And I love the fact that you're living in your purpose. Can you share with me us about your purpose driven life, with going from designing comedy packages? Now you became a comedian after that, because why? Like,
now, you know what was funny? When I was working, it was natural. And like, people saw something in me I didn't see in myself. And when I was working at the law firm, I used to do this thing called Unilaw. It was 10 law firms from all over the country. We would meet in the summertime in the Poconos and do a retreat. And it was meant to get the partners and the associates to try to bridge the gap. But when we first started doing it, it was at the same time they were wrecking our office, taping and filming Philadelphia. So even though they were only there 2 weeks to tape, it was a 4-month process in the beginning and a 6-month process at the end for them to get things back and forth, back the way that they were. Because they came in, they painted our whole office, and then they had to paint it back. But the thing was, I was so frustrated all the time as the marketing director, just trying to keep things in order. I used to talk about everybody. And everybody, right? And all the secretaries and the parents, they used to be like, girl, you funny. I'd be like, if he bring his monkey ass in here one more time about some, I'm going to go off on his. Then they used to be like, you have to be the person to do the roast at the Unilaw. And I was like, I'm going to lose my job, because if I start talking about these.
For real.
Girl, I used to, so for 3 years, I used to host the roast and get it started. And everybody would be like, oh my God, you're so funny. You should be a comedian. And I took their advice. And when I was getting my stuff together, I was feeling like everything. I got me a new computer. I took all the staples. I took everything. Set up my own office at home.
The paper clips, the copy paper.
I had a computer. I had a printer. I ordered it. It had to go straight to my house. And when I I probably had about 5 years worth of copy paper, because I had to order the boxes. Remember, I used to come in the ream.
The ream
like
boxes.
20. Yes, honey. Yes. I had about 20 reams at the crib.
They're like half the size now, but yeah.
I
So basically they were your investor. So
They weren't my investor. They out of business now. They out of business. So I ain't think about them.
Yes.
We went from 40. We were on the 40. We had floors 41 to 47 in the Mellon Bank building,
Oh
and
wow.
they've dissolved as a
Hmm.
partner. Yeah, partnership.
Oh, right.
I think
Well,
about all the crooked stuff they was doing. Girl, please, they wasn't gonna miss my staplers. I had like 3 of them and the staple remover. I still got the things that punch the holes in the paper.
oh my gosh, I have one of those too from one of my
Girl,
old jobs that closed down. So yeah, I
I made
totally get
sure
it.
my office was set up when I left there.
So like the first time you were on stage, because they share with you hey, you're funny, you've hosted before. And when was the first time it became real for you? Like you're gonna go on stage. Was it an open mic? Was it with you having the connections with comedy, how did that go?
I can honestly say when I first started out, like 94-ish. And that's when I was like working from home, doing my own business and just kind of getting a feel for it. I was so not funny. But I never gave up only because I would record every show. And that's when they had the mini disc. First I had the
Hmm.
cassette and then the mini disc. And because I would just want to listen to see if someone laughed. And
Ah,
once I would listen, and I could listen for a whole 5-10 minutes that I had, and I might have got one laugh, I'd be like, oh, well, that was funny. Somebody liked that. And then I would work on that. And then I would take that and work on something. And then it just became a set. So that was the hardest part because we're all the worst critics, is for us to really sit and criticize
mhm.
ourselves. Because a lot of times we just think we the funniest person on the earth and everything's, and that's not true. You have to be real with yourself. And I was like, I know I'm not funny, but I'm going to be funny. And I can
Wow.
guarantee you that. And that was my way of getting fun. And still to this day, I still record every show. Because I spend my time on the plane listening to them. Like I'm still listening to my sets from Chicago Riddles last week. Because that's how I get better.
Ah,
I listen,
yes.
and now I'm at a point where I be saying so much on stage, I don't even be knowing what I'm saying, Janelle. I have to listen to be like, oh damn, I said that. That was funny. Then I have to write it down. Because I'll be in
Yes.
the moment and just be saying stuff and I can't remember everything. So it's
Right.
easier for me to record it and just listen to them.
Yeah, and then
So,
each audience is different, and then of course you have to cater to the audience. So,
exactly.
with the business of comedy, beyond writing, then that's one of the big things that a person needs to happen and needs to have writing skills and
But
timing skills and all that good stuff, right?
that's all the creative part.
Mm-hmm.
But the business is what people don't handle.
Okay.
See, I have to say, I've been in SAG after. I was in SAG after when they were divided, when it was only AFTRA, because I hadn't done enough on television to be in SAG, but I'd done enough on the radio and on other things to be in AFTRA. So when they
Ah,
merged, it was a blessing for me because I didn't have to get tapped hardy then. But what people don't know and what a lot of comedians don't do, they don't really treat what they're doing as a business. I'm talking
ah.
about filing your taxes, doing your estimated taxes quarterly so that you know what you're paying into. Paying dues into SAG, making sure that you can be on television and whatever you may want to produce for yourself can air because you're in the union. You see what
Mm,
I'm saying? But
mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't even have a bank account separate from their personal account.
Ah.
I got incorporated in 97 in
Mm.
Delaware because I did my research. Pennsylvania was like this much paperwork to just get incorporated. Where
Wow.
Delaware, I went through an agency and it was one piece of paper that I
Ah.
had to fill out to get incorporated as long as my business operated in Philly and I had to get a P.O. box. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to do things like that to keep your business separate from what you do. Because what if somebody try to sue you? I've been
Right.
sued, and that's how
Mm.
I know I'm professional because somebody actually sued me.
Oh, wow.
But you can't take my house because I am a business. I am an entity. I am B-Flat LLC, and
Yes.
I've been that. So you have to do things to protect your intellectual property, which now with this whole internet stuff, it's going to be harder to leave to people. Do you see what I'm saying? And make money
Mm-hmm.
from it. But I protect that because I think about, I don't have kids. I only have my husband. So I want to be able to leave something to him. He can be in charge of the B-Flat repertoire.
Yes.
But I feel as
Legacy.
though, yeah, we need to be about our business in
Yes.
term, because we only work for ourselves. So if you're not about your life insurance, I'm so sick of comedians going on getting somebody dying, then you got to get a GoFundMe.
Oh
But you
gosh.
pay more for your phone than you would for a life insurance policy. When you could be paying $21 a month, but you would pay for everybody lying in the house and don't have no insurance on the phone. That's the stuff I don't understand about us.
Yeah.
But I'm like, get a living will.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you don't have to be arguing over who get what. But we live in the moment, and most people do, and we don't think about that stuff until and I've always been a forward thinker. Like, my forethought is like, it's only me, so I need to protect and look out for me.
Right.
I think if I had kids, that would be like a non-starter. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I
But
just had my daughter a year ago, and she has a retirement account.
thank you. It makes you
Yeah.
think that it would make most people do things differently, especially
Yes.
if you have other responsibilities as quote unquote a family.
Right.
But
She has a life insurance policy. Yes, definitely out the gate
and see, those are
because
the
yeah.
things. A lot of comedians feel there are a lot of resources out here for us that allow us to utilize them. For example, like if a promoter don't pay you, the agency will pay you and they go after them to get your money. But you have to be
Right.
a member of that kind of stuff. But I used to inform people all the time. But you know what? It's like when we get our money, it's like we got to handle it right then and there. But that's what anybody that get their money, they got to handle things right then and there. So
Right.
like I've always been taught, it's not how much money you make. It's what you do with your money when you get it.
Say it again.
It's what you do with your money when you get it. It's not, I ain't never made a lot of money. But a lot of people used to always say to me, B-Flat, how do you get to take off in the summer? You don't even work in the summer. Because I used to take off. I would do all the college shows, save up my money like a teacher, and be like, I don't want to work in the summer because I want to regroup. I want to refresh. I want to
Yes.
stay home, work in my yard, do creative things that are going to spark my next journey in life.
Yes.
Yeah, and I didn't make a lot of money. It was just like, I'm putting this aside. I know what I need. I know what my bills cost, and I don't want to work in the summer. I'm going back to school when everybody else go back to college and do the shows. So
Right.
I made enough money on these college runs. That's the smart thing to do in it. But you know, Janelle,
Everybody's journey is different. We want
everybody's
to
journey is
respect
different.
that, right?
I
But
respect that.
whenever you're looking at the business of comedy and the business of handling your business as an
Business.
entrepreneur, then it sounds like you've done a great job planning for the future. So, for that person who's looking to get started as an entrepreneur in their own business, what would be one thing? Because I know you're living your passion right now. What would be one thing you would tell them to do, in addition to what you've shared so far?
I would tell them to be diligent about being true to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to open up and be honest with yourself in terms of your finances, where you want to see. You know how people say, I got a vision board, but damn, do
Mm-hmm.
you have a plan? Everybody got a vision. You got to have a plan to get to your vision board. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, like I know that my husband's 40th is coming up in September. I've been planning for it. And I'm like, oh, I need extra sources of income because I don't want what I want to do for him is costing thousands. So I've already set up, now that I can't sell my clothes at consignment shops anymore, because that's how I do to supplement my income because I don't shop. But after COVID hit, you can't take clothes to the consignment. Everything's online. So now I do my little posh parties and sell clothes, and I put that money just aside for what I'm doing for him. So you got to think about what it is when you want to reach your goals and you're setting up your business. First, you need to figure out what is your business going to be. Then you need to say, what is it going to take for me to reach these goals? How am I going to get the money to do what it is that I need to do? Do I got to ask people? Do I want to take out a loan? Do I want to utilize my own resources? I can do this, I can sew, I can bake, I can have fish fry. You see what I'm saying? So you have to start thinking about your plan that's going to get you to what it is that you're on your vision board, be it a car.
Right.
Do you have to work extra hours? Do you have to cut out, learn how to do your own nails? Or do now I gotta, you see what I'm saying? Instead of spending $100 a week on nails, maybe I gotta save that and learn to do my own look. And that's how I am, because I don't get my hair done. I don't let nobody do I do my own hair. I make my own clothes. I've always done my own everything. I do my own skincare stuff. All I do is put olive oil and sugar in the thing, do my lip scrub. I make my own oatmeal masks. So I don't be going out buying all that stuff that people do. You know, I dye my own hair. I've been doing it.
Yeah.
All my life.
Cucumbers on the eye.
Cucumbers on the eye, cucumbers in my water. I do all of that because I feel like that's natural. So why go pay for all that stuff when it's natural? When you be buying them little cucumber things, when you can just buy cucumbers. I slice them up, keep them in the freezer separate, take them out and put them on my eyes.
Well,
and or drop them in the water. And that's how if you learn to be frugal and what you do with your money, it will definitely get to your goal. But you have to start thinking about where I do my budget every week, and I sit down and look at where I'm spending my money. And then I'll be like, oh, I'm spending too much money on this weed. Let me cut out. And I'll drink more of my free products. See what I'm saying? Like if they're giving me these sodas and these seltzers that are weed, I'm going to do that instead of spending my money and make that adjustment. So I just feel like you have to be diligent about how you're going to do your business. Everybody want to do business, Janelle, but to do business really means get incorporated, do your taxes, stay on top of your analytics, what's working, what's not working. It's more than just marketing. Even if you're just marketing yourself, you have to be about your business. Because they come after you. Cash App, they send you the little 1099. They sure do. And PayPal. So all these people on the internet making all this money, you have to report that income. And that's where people start being like, oh, let me get another pseudonym. They change and become somebody else and get another, because they don't want to handle their business.
Right. And I know from, I've booked comedians for several years and we worked together in the past. And one of the things with the amount of money that some of the comedians would get would be paid $500. Well, that's $100 less than the reporting amount for that $600 for you to get that 1099 at the end of the year. So after the business of booking, I was like, oh, that's why he did the $500, because he didn't have to do a 1099 the comics. That was less paperwork for him to do. And the flight that you got flown in on, the logistics for that and the picking up at the airport and stuff, that was all, it was like, oh my gosh, he saved so much paperwork paying $500 versus $600 because he knew he would have to do the W-9 form. And so now when I do contracts for comedians, I said, okay, we got to get your W-9 form. If you're getting paid this much, if you're getting paid that much, then I need to have it on file, because when you're working with the colleges like you did, you had your W-9 form on file, and that's handling business. So it dawned on me, oh, he didn't have to do that paperwork.
And people will be calling me about, oh, I just know I stay on top of it. And plus, I've been on the SAG-AFTRA nominating committee for 7 years.
Oh, congrats.
So everything comes to us. We get to see all the movies, all the DVDs, all that stuff comes to my house every year right before the Oscars and the Globe. They have the SAG. So now people for Golden Globe, and then they'll most likely get an Oscar. So people call me a lot because they know I'm on top of where to get funding. Like when COVID was going on, SAG-AFTRA had like money out there for people, and he's like, B-Phlat, where we go to that whip? And I was letting people know, because I share information and I make sure I let people know that there are resources out there for us to use. Awesome. Get in the union. And when I tell people I'm in SAG-AFTRA and I've been in for almost 30 years, I'll be like, oh, how you get in that? So you can't just be working on TV forever and just be on TV. be on Comic View and be on Def Jam and be on this. That's not going to get you where you need to go. You can
Right.
be on that, but you need to do other things to get you into the union.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Well, that is great to know, and I know that you're a very talented woman, and
thank
you
you. Yeah.
you you have you're very the BIY. Can you share about the BIY? Because I love the one thing that you just shared. We are here at Financial Power Fridays Live sharing information that support and help entrepreneurs. So, with you being a woman of many talents and mastery of many talents that God give you, share with us about your BIY project.
So on my podcast, Tighten Up Tuesdays, the whole premise is for me to show you how to just tighten up the things you already have. I believe in sustainable instead of just going out and spending money. Use the things you already have. So within Tighten Up Tuesday, I have a segment called Frugal Flip. So Frugal Flip is where people submit photos of a room or a space in their house that they want me to do something amazing in. And I have to use the things that they already have. The whole goal is for them to not spend more than $200. So my committee of people, my Picassos, we have a committee. We look at the photos, they make the decision of who we're going to pick, and then they fly me where I need to go. So I've done 13 flips all over the US, different states, different cities. So the thing is, you get your people together, you get your family members together, they're going to help you. I'm there for 3 days. I come in on that on that Friday, so that we can do the final shopping or whatever it is that we might need to do. Because what happens on the flip is people donate money for the food. When I announce it on my thing, people say, oh, well, I'm sending $150 so y'all can feed all the people that are helping. It might be 12 of us. Other restaurants know about the flip. They donate food and they say, oh, come to my restaurant and eat while you're in town. Yes. So what happens is I do my own drawings. When you send me the picture, I draw over it to give you the vision of what I want it to look like. So the goal is for me to bring the vision together. Once you show me all the things that you have to flip, people send pictures. They be like, girl, you can break up this dresser. You can use this ironing board. I'm like, don't throw that away. Because one girl, she was going to throw away her hairdressers. Her hair dryers, the ones that roll, you can sit on and they roll.
Uh-huh.
Girl, we gonna take them wheels off that and put them on them chairs and make you a desk chair. So I showed how we took the rods out because they were like a long pole that raise up, the hairdresser, and we use them for like extension rods to hang curtains from a hair dryer. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said don't throw nothing away, because I know how to flip any and everything. I'm a MacGyver, yes. As Queen Aisha, her suitcase broke in the airport. I fixed it. Her up and down. I said, girl, let me look at it. I got that. And I sat right at the gate and fixed it. But that's what I love about a frugal flip. It's about camaraderie. It's not about go away and be surprised. Everybody don't have $50,000 for a renovation. Some people only have $5,000 to get things fixed. So I show you how to come in and fix it. You can show me something fabulous and I'll be like, girl, we can do that. And I got a solution for that and I'm going to make it work. And I never request that people have more than $200. And that's to spend on the flip. That's if we need to buy like paint or fabrics or brackets or things I may have to get from Home Depot or like snacks and water. But for the most part, I'm there 3 days. You got your people and I flip your space and we make it work.
Oh, wow.
And people be amazed. They be like, I can't believe you did that. I'd be like, you will be amazed at what I flip and make. So people can go onto my page at Frugal Flip. It's spelled PHRUGAL, PHLIP instead of F's.
Yes.
And you can see some of the flips and the different things that I've done and look at some of my episodes on Tighten Up Tuesday on YouTube. I have 134 episodes. So you can go back and look at different flips. And I love it because when they come together, we get the apron. Like I show up, I got my Frugal Flip aprons. I give them to everybody that's in the team. The photographer comes in and he takes a group shot and then he films the whole weekend that I'm there.
Oh, wonderful.
So I have some really nice videos. Really great cameraman.
Oh, good. Well, you may have to go back to Missouri. I have a whole house that's like empty because I
It's
had to
funny. I
redo
just
the
came
floor.
from doing a flip in St. Louis. I did a flip in St. Louis in June.
Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful.
the
Well, that
whole
is.
basement. It was nice,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
loved it. I love doing my frugal flips, and I just finished one in Cherry Hill a couple months ago, and now I'm planning to do this next one in Philadelphia. I'm going to do a bedroom.
Oh,
It's
wonderful.
Pepto Bismol pink,
Oh, woo.
super ugly, but I have
Did
a
they
whole.
did they think were they trying to go with the Barbie pink and just
I
got
don't
messed
know.
up
It
with
was
the
from the
Pepto-Bismol?
70s. They haven't painted it since the 70s.
Oh my
And
goodness.
mom gave the house to her, so she's like, "Oh, girl, I got to paint this bedroom. It's
Oh,
Pepto."
I just hope they don't have green toilets like we lime green toilets like we
I
did
don't
in
know
St.
what's in the
Louis
rest.
and
I don't look around the rest of the house. You know why? Because then they're gonna want me to do something in that room. I just stay laser focused on that
uh-huh.
one room. Because I've had
One
people say, "Can you look at my?" I'd be like, "No, I came here to look at that, and that's all I'm looking at." When I get done doing this, you're gonna know how to do that. And that's
ah.
love, because I've had people say, "Well, girl, when you came in and did my living room, that inspired me to do my bedroom." So
Ah.
not it's because it's hands on, everybody's
Mhm.
learning how to do stuff. And then when they see how I flip stuff and just take basic things in your house, like take a comforter and roll it up and make pillows, cut it up and we was duct tape and pillow. They was like, I've been buying pillows, like I've been making pillows out of. Yes, you be making your own pillows, because black folks have like 15 comforters.
Yes.
Yes, we do. So cut
Yes.
up one and you can make you some nice fluffy pillows. I sew, but then I've showed people how to hand stitch and use the glue gun to make the pillows, depending on how you're going to use them. If they're just going to be
Okay.
like for show on your couch, you can use
Mhm.
a glue gun. But if you're going to be like really using them on your bed and throwing them around, we have a hand sewing machine, easy stitch.
Ah.
Yep.
Here, you heard it here on Financial Firefighters Live. I talked about being fruit for the love of money last week, and you were teaching us this week for the love of money and frugality. Okay.
Yeah.
Here in the month of love, being that it's the month of February, and B-Flat, I love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that is an amazing shoe. What is that?
One of my flips, because his shoe used
Oh,
to be black
uh-huh,
and I stained it and painted it blue. And then I took the Fitbit piece. My husband got a Fitbit watch, the little
uh-huh.
bands that hold the flap
Yeah.
down. I
Hmm.
took two of them and put them on the bottom
Wow.
because the heel fell off. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get. So these are like little Fitbit. Yeah. So if you look at the other one, I'll show you the other one. You can tell this is the one I messed up. But
Oh,
it's
that
here.
is.
See how
Oh,
it's more
uh-huh.
blue and
Yeah.
it's like a spot. It got messed up right there. But yeah, they used to
Hmm.
be black, and I didn't want to get rid of them, so I stained them blue and put those
Oh,
bottom. That's how I do, because I don't like to. I don't
y-
like to buy stuff. I don't like to
y-
spend my money. I like to be artsy fartsy and different.
oh, that is so beautiful. That is so cute.
Yeah, so I did an episode how I did those shoes. I show people,
I need to send you all my old shoes so that we can restore my shoes in my closet
and
right
everybody
now.
be asking about them. I'm like, girl, these shoes I hand painted with acrylic paint and stained it, and then I take a shoe brush, let it dry, and just shine
Uh,
it up.
Buff it up. There you go. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, that is amazing. Well, I know that we don't have much time.
yeah.
I
I need to
pre
get ready for my
and
show.
and you need to get prepared for your show. And I absolutely thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll have to definitely have a part two because I know you had a pivot in, yeah, as we all did in like
Yeah.
20, 20. And you have a lot of great things coming up. What can you share with us about your what's next for you? And how would you close out the conversation about the business of comedy with Financial Power Fighters Live tonight?
Well, what's up next for me is I'm working on my comedy special, which I'm slated to shoot May 1st in St. Louis at the K-PAC Center, which is a Kirkwood Performing Arts Center in my hometown. So I'm really excited about that. I'm at a stage where I'm really pulling all the paperwork together and just making sure I'm on point so I can just focus on the creative.
Yes.
And what I would love to say about this show and the business of comedy is, one, I want to wrap it up by saying thank you so much for having me on here. I feel honored, Janelle, because I've been knowing you for so long. And you have always been an inspiration for me because you have always been handling your business, always been professional. So I'm very grateful that we're at a point where we can both talk about the business of business. So I just want people to realize that things come and go and things can be trendy, but business is something that does not ever go away. And my slogan in life is, in business, you do not get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you
What you
negotiate.
negotiate. That's
And
it.
what
Period.
they and then 2 snaps. Okay, we had to steal that. We had to steal that one from Living Color, didn't we? It's like 2 snaps.
2 snaps and a circle. Yeah. In business, you get what you negotiate. That's the
Yes.
bottom line. Yeah.
Well, I absolutely love it. I love you, and I love the time that you came here to spend with us tonight. And please
Thank
do like, subscribe to Power Fridays Live, like, subscribe to B-Flat. Your podcast again
you.
is
Tighten Up Tuesdays.
Tighten Up Tuesdays. Go find it on YouTube.
TAZE, because we be smoking on my show. I have to stay smokest.
Well, as we say here on Financial Power Fighters Live, be, do, and have the greatness that you desire because the greatness is in you, and you've shared your greatness with us this evening. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone, and God bless. Bye
And
bye.
thank you, Janelle. Bye bye,
And
everyone.
thank you, B-Flat. Love you, girl. Bye bye.
Thanks. Love you too. Have a good one.
Bye bye.